What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Onett Radio. If you're just joining us, welcome. We do video games around these parts. It's like a book club, but for video games. My name's Dale Flashpoint. I'm joined here by...
Hi, I'm Faden Cross.
Hi, I'm Jake McAskill.
Welcome, friends.
Jake, thanks for joining us again. This is
You're
your second time, right?
Yeah.
We have a returning guest.
Mm-hmm. He filled in for you when you were gone, Dale.
It's true.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you.
This is like an Avengers movie. It's like everyone's
Kind of
here.
is. We got our team up here.
What is our Avengers title?
Game Vengers.
I was more thinking like subtitle, I guess, like the Pit of Nostalgia. That's what this iteration is called.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Can we be the multiverse of Michael?
Why Michael?
I don't know. It starts with the letter M.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Multiverse of Michael.
Multiverse of Michael.
That's okay. Or we could be the age of upset spaghetti.
The Age of Upset Spaghetti.
No, I mean upsetty spaghetti. Because everyone's upsetty spaghetti right now about U.S. politics, which I don't think we should...
Oh my God.
I fucking brought it up.
That took a turn.
That was a swerve. That was intentionally hitting someone across the other side of the road, sort of drive by.
Jeez. I guess so. But if you're not upsetty spaghetti, then get out of our age.
Okay, Dale, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Dale, this question is important.
Okay.
What's the game you played this month?
A game that I spent probably a little more time on it than I should have. Well, no, I had a lot of fun playing it. I played a lot of GTA Online this month.
Ooh.
Believe it or not, yeah, I've got a couple of buds, and we're doing the motorcycle club missions and the CEO bank missions and the nightclub missions. And I took the role of motorcycle club captain. My friend Joe took the role of the banker, and my buddy Alex took the role of nightclub owner. So we'll trade off, like, who needs to do what.
What does it mean to be a motorcycle club biker or whatever?
Yeah, specifically in Grand Theft Auto, owning a motorcycle club will allow you to grow and sell drugs.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've got a cocaine lockup, I've got a meth farm, and I've got a weed distillery.
Wait.
Something like that.
That's a lot.
Hold up. Weed distillery?
Isn't
Meth
that what
farm?
you do? You farm meth, you grow it from the ground.
Yep.
You lock cocaine up because your kids can't have it.
Okay, that's fair.
And you distill weed, right? Isn't that what craft beer is all about? The distilling of the buds and the herbs.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure everyone else was aware.
Okay, we're all on the same page.
Yep. Have you gotten a lot of money from these things?
Oh yeah. I've got about in the time that we have played, I've made almost $1 million. Which is kind of a lot of money on GTA Online. Kind of.
Do you have an in-world persona like Heisenberg?
Hell yeah, I do. They call me the boss.
The boss?
The boss.
Why did they call you the boss?
Oh, I think probably because they work for me.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Nice.
I don't have a Heisenberg-like persona. No.
Okay. Oh, Jake, have you been playing a game this month that you want to shout out?
Yes, I have been playing The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Oh, that's weird.
Right?
Why is that?
Well, I was playing this other game called Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think it was last month, and I was like, man, I am still in the mood for N64 era Legend of Zelda. So I booted it up, and I was like, and you know what? Majora's Mask is debatably my favorite Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why are you debating with yourself? You can pick, or you know that maybe the debate is what you live for.
Well, the thing is, I have that's kind of what it is, because like, you know, it almost depends on my mood. It's either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. It's like, I can't decide, because I love them both for different reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you playing Majora's Mask on?
The Wii U, because it's the closest I can get to the N64 version without breaking the law. You
But
know what I mean.
you could also be cool and do crimes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not breaking the law. It's a digital backup of a game I already own.
Okay.
What have you been enjoying about Majora's Mask?
I mean, I've just been taking my time with it. So I played the 3DS version, and it's prettier, I guess, but they actually changed some things around, like save points and where certain masks are.
Wait, they changed where masks are?
At least one for sure. I think it's the stone mask. In the original version of Majora's Mask, you get the stone mask by going to I want to say it's the east where the Icana Canyon is.
Okay.
And you would take Epona and jump over a fence, and you would need the Lens of Truth, and you'd be able to see an invisible guard. In the 3DS version, when you're in the Gerudo, well, it's not the Gerudo Pirate. It's just the Pirate Fortress. When you're in the Pirate Fortress, that same invisible soldier is sitting at the base of the ladder in the middle of the fortress. I think it was because they wanted people who were playing now to know where, they'd be able to find it easier rather than, maybe having to happen upon it playing in the 64 version, because it makes you invisible. And when you're in the Pirate Fortress, if they catch you, they throw you out. So,
okay.
It's sort of easy to overlook if you don't think to go to Icana Canyon with Epona, So, yeah.
I played a little bit of the 3DS version, maybe about halfway through. I've never beaten Majora's Mask. I've always had a hard time with it. And then shortly after I stopped playing the 3DS version, I read that it is considered the worst version of the game.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Specifically the Deku Scrub mask, they fundamentally changed the movement, and now the Deku Scrub is a lot slower, and you sink in the water much faster, and you just can't get to places like you used to.
Even worse, though, is the Zora mask. So, to swim around as the Zora, did you get that far?
I got that far. I got the Zora mask.
Yeah, so you know how I think you hit the right trigger and then you get electric and spinny and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, in the original, that was using a power, but you could still swim fast and you could break wooden barriers underwater by swimming into it. But you can't do that in the 3DS version. You have to use the magic power. So if you run out of magic, then you need to go get magic jars or something. But yeah,
that does not sound good at all.
Weird choices for sure.
Are you planning on finishing the game, or is this just one of those things where you're gonna dive in a little bit?
I might drive in.
Drive out.
I'm definitely gonna beat it. I'm definitely gonna beat it. I'm gonna get all the masks before I beat it, because I always do. And then, yeah, you know what I love about that game? It feels like lived in. It feels like for a game of that time, with the I think it was called the Stockpot Inn. All of the characters have their own little story. It feels like a real world, minus the magic and the moon with the face. But other than that stuff, I really feel like there are stakes, and some of the stories, everything about it is so morbid. Super creepy. I love it.
Do you have a favorite story?
So, I mean, everyone likes, I want to say it's Cafe, and I forget the girl's name, but it's basically the fiance and fiance that are fiancés, where one of them gets turned into a child by the Skull Kid. And you have to, it's the longest mission in the game for sure, because you get all these different masks to, God, I don't want to spoil it. Are either of you ever going to play it?
It's Well, it's Faden's favorite Zelda game.
I never said it's my favorite.
The answer for me is probably not. I did a chunk of that, but you're right. It's a lot of masks.
Yeah, let's explain the ending.
Well, of that story, it's like basically, Cafe gets turned into a child. He is ashamed, so he doesn't want to be seen by his fiance. So he's like avoiding you. He's avoiding her and avoiding you. And you're trying to find the couple's mask. I think no, it's not the. Yes, it is. It's the couple's mask because it was supposed to be like a wedding gift. It's like our wedding ring, I guess. In the game, it's the couple's mask. Is their like symbol. So you go through all of these different missions, you finally get the couple's mask, and then when you get the couple's mask from them at the end, it's the game is built so it's like it's got to be in the last like hour that you have them both reunited in the hotel and they give you the couple's mask. So the moon is falling. It's like it's the end. It's a playthrough where basically you're supposed to think that everyone's going to die and they're like we'll stay here together. And they don't say it, but it's very much implying like we'll die together, which is pretty heavy. But that's not my favorite mission. Funny enough, that's just my favorite story. My favorite mission in Majora's Mask is the alien one, where you go and you have to fight basically the Flatwoods monsters while they try and steal the cows. Do you guys know what the Flatwoods monsters are?
I really need to replay this game. A lot of it's escaping me.
That's okay. It's just they're aliens that are invading the ranch, but they are styled after the Flatwoods monster from West Virginia. I think it's West Virginia.
The Flatwoods monster is a real life thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're real monsters, but it's like a real folk legend.
It's pretty fun.
Like the Wendigo or something. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Neat.
Thank you for giving me like 7 minutes of time to talk about a different Legend of Zelda game.
Of course.
I'm sure it'll come up again.
Oh yeah.
For me this month, I have been playing way too much of Battlefront 2. Not the original classic one, but the 2017 one that opened so much controversy that Europe decided to legislate loot boxes.
Wow. So it's good?
It's great. I love it. I love it now. It is pretty much a dead game.
It's a squad shooter.
It's a squad shooter. It's a good squad shooter, especially when you finally have a squad to shoot with. I highly recommend anyone checking this out, especially if they can grab it on sale for like $3. It goes on sale often. It's pretty cheap. But yeah, right now, every weekend is just a double XP weekend. Every Wednesdays is just a triple XP. They don't have loot boxes really anymore. It's more just you play a character, you play a class, you level up, you unlock skills, and you can do fancy things with the skills.
Wow.
Well, I'm sold.
Yeah, completely sold.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just very Star Wars. I don't know. Can't complain too much.
I remember the soundtrack being very good, and there were some moments of real, depending on what missions you select, there's some real moments of push back, push forward, push back, push forward. And some of the missions, you can get stuck doing that for a long time. But some of them, it's like intense. It's really fun. You're contesting these points. You're going into the hollowed out husk of an AT-AT and attacking a crashed Star Destroyer that the other team is trying to defend as their base. It's good Star Wars.
Yeah, I've been liking the Starfighter Assault stuff a lot too. Especially there's this great mission that's on Ryloth where you're trying to break a separatist blockade and you have to destroy one of the big battle stations that Anakin destroys in Episode 1. You get to fly inside a thing and blow up the reactor. It's perfect classic Star Wars shit. You go inside the big thing, you blow it up from the inside. Yeah, it's just a good time. It's a good time doing it with people that you like. Just get a group of 4 people. You got a full squad. You can spawn on them. One of you might be a Jedi at some point, and it was always fun to just follow them around.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
You know, classic stuff. But we also have another classic thing to get into, I think, this month.
Arguably the most classic video game ever released by the human race.
Like, some would say the most classic.
There are people out there.
Debatably.
I might be one of them.
What game did we play this month, Dale?
Faden, we played mankind's magnum opus, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
And Jake decided to be a wonderful guest. And he will be doing our elevator pitch, our 30-second summary that is basically us pitching the game to the other.
Who's got a clock? I got a clock.
Oh, I was going to say I had a clock, but if you got a clock, you go for it.
I have a timer.
I don't trust you.
No. You got to let us do it.
All right. Tell me when.
Go.
Okay, so you start out as a young boy that looks like an elf but is not an elf in the forest, and a tree tells you that you need to get all of these sacred stones from different parts of the map. You grab the stones, then you go to a temple, then you grow up 7 years, and then you find out that this guy from the desert is ruling over everything, and then you have to go and kill him, and then you go back in time, and your fairy buddy leaves you.
God damn, how much more time does he have left?
And that's 30 seconds right there.
It's interesting hearing someone else do the 30-second pitch because, well, Dale and I don't really get to the point at all, ever.
Almost never.
Never.
I was like, so help me God, I am going to at least cover the basic outline of the story.
You did it.
Okay, you did. You did very well.
Thank you.
That's literally the story. But I think first we should go through our history.
Sure.
Our personal histories with this game.
Dale, do you want to go first?
I don't want to go first. You go first, Faden.
Oh, no. Okay, so my personal...
Okay, you go ahead.
My personal history, as both of you are aware of, is I fundamentally have never liked this game. Even as a kid playing it, I did not like this game. I could never finish it. I would always get to the third dungeon, Jabu Jabu's belly, and give the fuck up. I would just rage quit because my patience was always tried. And so for Game Club this month, I finally played through this game and beat it. And ooh boy.
Ooh boy.
Ooh boy.
How do you feel?
I feel mostly positive.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. What's your history, Dale?
Oh my gosh. So I went to a daycare one time, and then
once?
I stopped going to that daycare because I was too old for it. And so I was like just old enough to not go to daycare, but not old enough to where my parents wanted me to stay at home all summer as like, we'll say 12, maybe 11 or 12. And so they found friend and local teacher, Mrs. Shaka. And Mrs. Shaka had her son Keith, who I went to school with, and I knew Keith, and Keith and I were buds. And Keith was 2 years older than I was. And Keith had all the Nintendo games. So it wasn't Ocarina first. It was Wind Waker, which was the first one I ever played.
Oh,
Just
wow.
Fooled around on Outset Island, figured it out, got on the boat, got on the pirate ship, that kind of thing. I think I made it all the way even to the Forsaken Fortress the first time. And I loved it. I was hooked. Zelda. So I went back the next summer to Keith's house. And this time, Keith was like, well, you got to play this one, Ocarina of Time. Because this one came before Wind Waker. And there was something about it. I couldn't tell you quite what it was. The difference, maybe it was hitting that time skip, advancing those 7 years forward, and seeing the difference between the adolescent, youthful Link and now kind of a more maturing, like, whoa, maybe one day I could be that hero. Maybe one day I could change that world. I don't know, it resonated with me. And then I kept playing it. Didn't get to beat it then, but shortly after, my friend gave me a Nintendo 64 just because he had one lying around.
Oh, wow.
He just gave me the game. And I beat it all the way through. Famously, we went through the water temple on my own, without a map, without a strategy guide. All you have to do is look at the map in the game. Duh, that's what it's there for. I love this game. I've played this game so much. I once upon a time was visiting some friends in college when I was a senior in high school, and they were all stoned as fuck. And this was before I myself partook. So I was like hanging out. They were having a good time, and one of them was at the final boss, Ganondorf. Couldn't beat him for shit. And I was like, well, you're getting real frustrated there. He's like, yeah, man, fuck. I just want to get to the end of the game. I don't fucking care who does it. And I stepped in and I volunteered, and in one fell swoop, showed him what for. And these stoned 20-somethings were like blown away, dude.
Oh, these stoners were like, isn't there a gamer with the right amount of skill to be able to complete this notoriously difficult game?
Who among us is powerful enough? And I said, yea, verily, it is at my behest. I will finish this quest.
Your prayers are answered, good stoner.
You became that guy.
I was the guy.
You became that guy who saved the world.
Just like I hoped I one day could.
You did save their world, that's for sure.
I saved their world. Yeah, oh yeah.
They're probably
and smoked more.
They're probably telling this exact story on their podcast.
Oh, for sure.
This one time, some high school kid.
Jake, what is your history with Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time?
Honestly, mine was pretty standard. I had a Nintendo 64, and then my dad, we lived with some people that also had a Nintendo 64, and they just told my dad that it was really good, and so my dad got it, and I was like, this was like the year it, this is like the year it came out. So I was actually, I was able to play it like from the beginning. Well, you know what? Technically, that's not. No, we lived somewhere before that, and I went over to a friend's place in the same apartment building, and he showed me just the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Kokiri Forest, like literally just that. It was like the opening, and then like walking around. And at the time, I was like, "Whoa, this is all like mystical and stuff." They're in like a forest and like fairies, But yeah, no. So I played it, and like most people who played it when it first came out, it just like, it was something really special. So I played and beat it at least like once every couple of years. Whether it's on the DS or now it's going to be on the Wii U now that I have that. I wish I had a Nintendo 64, but no, yeah. It's just something I grew up with. I play pretty much every Zelda game because of it, so yeah.
This was your first Zelda game?
It was my first Zelda game. This is the game that introduced me to the Legend of Zelda series.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
For me, that was Link to the Past.
Also an amazing game.
Yeah. Which is probably why I didn't like this one that much when I first played it. But now I think it's very interesting. I noticed this when I was playing this game. I hear this joke that all games are like Ocarina of Time. That Ocarina of Time was such a magnetic force that, well, that games wanted to copy it. It wanted to build its same adventure style model.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't want to call it formulaic, but it has a formula to it that is pretty,
Well, everyone's just started doing it. Yeah. The
it's not
intro.
a bad formula.
I mean, here's the thing. I think it has made games worse because they kind of didn't realize what Legend of Zelda was doing, and they had to do like a weird facsimile of it. I think about the introduction area where everyone is giving you the tutorial instructions, because literally every single character in the Kokori Forest is just a tutorial prompt.
That's like a late 90s thing though. Like especially in N64 games, it's like the beginning. I don't think you see that nearly as much. Like now they try to integrate it into like a more seamless
loading screens.
No, I think what they do now is they make it longer. I think they take this exact concept.
How about Fallout 3?
Yeah.
I was literally just thinking about that.
It not only like the thing that Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time does that these games don't is you can skip the tutorials for the most part in Ocarina of Time if you just don't talk to people. But now games make you talk to everyone to tell you exactly how to move, how to target, how to access your menu, how to access your sub-menus, how to buy things. Here's some caps. Go to the store, buy this specific item you won't use ever again. That's the buying instruction.
Wow. I feel like I'm playing a critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV MMO online.
That one's a different beast. The tutorial is the first 40 hours of that game.
First 100.
That being said, Ocarina of Time did it right.
Yeah, I think it did it fine. I'm just mad that it gave everyone the idea.
That's okay. Yeah, you can be grumpy about that.
Yeah, I'm very grumpy about that.
The sameness of Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Those ones do it fine. It's more just like the big AAA games still try to capture that vibe, try to incorporate the tutorial level into like this cinematic experience that I find utterly like awful. I don't know. How does the opening make you two feel?
So I'm gonna be honest. I feel like my experience with it and how I look at it, because like I don't even know how it would, but if I played like The Last of Us or Uncharted right now, and it had a similar structure to Ocarina of Time, I don't think it would vibe with me, because if somebody was telling my character to press any button and then you can throw a rock, that would just take me out of the experience. But with Ocarina of Time, I think because I grew up with it, I have like nostalgia that just admits everything. Like of all the flaws and glitches and stuff, like to me, that's like part of the experience. That's like what makes it for me, you know what I mean? Like Ocarina of Time and what makes it special to me. So I kind of feel like I am not really a good person to ask that. Cause like I like it for what it is. But it's the same reason why I like Phantom Menace and so many people hate it. It's because like for me, what makes it Phantom Menace, what makes it Ocarina of Time is like why it's special to me.
So like the nostalgia is no matter what, you can never remove it, baked in.
Yeah, and I'm not complaining about that. I think
no, it's
that
not
the
a
game
bad
is
thing.
still like good, but I could see someone who, like you said that you've played it before, you just never beat it. But like if someone was like, I'm getting into video games now, what game should I try? If they started Ocarina of Time today, like I feel like that would be a different experience for them just inherently, because there's so many other things that have, evolved in the video game industry.
Like a dual axis camera.
Did you have that issue?
Yeah.
Not having the dual access camera, Dale?
Okay. So I was going to echo a lot of Jake's sentiments. Nostalgia really is baked in for me. I have never played this game, I guess, outside of a Nintendo setting before. So emulating it with an Xbox controller, here my thumbs are sitting on 2 sticks, and I mapped the right stick to the C stick for items.
Right.
And most of the time I remembered that. Most of the time I did.
Mm-hmm.
But not all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was that instinct. By the end of the game, I was Z-targeting to navigate the camera and figure where I was. And it had come back to me, and I had, muscle memoried the new control scheme a little bit. But that was one of the biggest curves for me in this revisit. That being said, I fucking love this game. This is the best game ever made. You can't tell me otherwise. You can tell me otherwise, but I won't hear it because of this fondness I have, this youthful joy that comes out every time I hear those intro da 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 bump 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 at the Kokiri Forest music every single time. Just warms my heart and brings a smile to my face. You can't take that away from me.
This game's soundtrack, I will say, it is a banger. I absolutely love the soundtrack. The Song of Storms forever will be something that sticks with me.
That game has some freaking bangers, like the Gerudo Valley. That,
yes.
Oh my god, that Twin Rova.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The
Even
music
Zelda's
inside
Lullaby.
the Spirit Temple.
Yes. Oh, we could actually get into some of the lore of the dungeon music too, but
there's lore to dungeon music?
So, I don't know if you wanted to, but the Fire
Of
Temple
course.
originally had a different kind of music in the original version. Also,
There's a 1.0 and a 1.1 cartridge.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, so it used to be Islamic chanting that was
Whoa.
taken from stock audio. Like they just took it from stock audio and they thought that it went with it. Turns out someone who was familiar with Islamic music or Islamic chanting prayers, I think, recognized it. So in the second version, like Dale said, they had to put out a different kind of audio for that temple. And I don't know if you knew this, but in the original Mirror Shield, there was a moon and a star, so it looked like that symbol, and that symbol was also on the movable blocks. And I want to say other things too, but basically for the same reason, they had to change that symbol on all of those assets. So there was actually a little bit. There was a patch. They patched Ocarina of Time, kind of.
That's wild. I think I might have the original.
Yeah, then you might. Yeah, because now it's like that shield, that weird like mask looking image on the.
Yeah, because my Mirror Shield didn't have a mask. That's why I thought it looked so odd. Because I could remember the weird mask image on the Mirror Shield. And then when I looked at it playing Ocarina of Time, I was like, oh, this is just
hold on.
Interesting.
I think I have the gold cartridge on 64, and it's 1.0.
That's wild.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
It's wild to think about the cartridges that are like that, where there is an updated form in the past before online updates.
Do you know, Jake, a friend of mine claimed in youth this friend was notorious for telling tall tales and being a big old fibber. So I took it with a grain of salt, but now talking about 1.0, 1.1, friend of mine claimed that when you beat Ganondorf before the Ganon change...
I can already tell this is crap.
The claim was that in whatever cartridge this friend had, Ganondorf would spit up green blood instead of red blood.
No, that's real.
Is it real?
Yeah, you didn't see that when you played through? So in the original, in like 1.0, it's red blood, but they didn't want it to be I don't. I guess they thought it was just too mature or something, so they changed it to green.
No kidding.
In the Wii U version, that's what it is, and I think in the 3DS version also. But I just shared an image of the mirror shield.
I had the Crescent Moon mirror shield.
Yeah, I always thought that was cooler than the updated one, but I get it.
Yeah, it's really weird when you start appropriating other people's cultures for your game and you don't know what you're using.
Yeah, you can't really. I guess it's a good thing that they updated it immediately. That is kind of funny though. Like they didn't have anyone to be like, "You think this is okay?"
Yeah,
because I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a moon and a star, and I was like, "That's cool." But then also when you realize it's in the desert area, that could also have some implications.
I mean, since we're talking about it, this game really has some implications on the Gerudo in general. It's really kind of fucking racist.
Yeah, they go pretty far with the races.
Yeah, they're all just the desert people are all the thieves, and once there's a male one, he's real bad.
Yeah, and there's only one male one every 100 years.
Really makes you wonder how they procreate.
Well, so I read the Hyrule Historia today in preparation for this podcast, and they procreate by basically kidnapping Hylian men and, sexually assaulting them, and it's real fucked up.
I thought it was going to be like in Jurassic Park, but we don't need to get into it.
No, nope, not Jurassic Park.
They just clone each other.
It would be cooler if they had a cloning machine. And then, they had, a demand every 100 years they have to clone a male. That'd be sick, but it'd also make Legend of Zelda very sci-fi randomly.
Yeah. Well, you can't tell me Breath of the Wild is not sci-fi randomly.
Well, that is true. But yeah, a wicked man of the desert is what Zelda calls Ganondorf. I'm like, that is loaded.
That is
loaded. He is.
And when you look at his profile...
Yeah, but it's also using racist tropes, and it sucks so hard. Because Ganondorf's cool. He's a fun villain.
He's got an iconic laugh.
He has an iconic laugh. He also has a great scene where he just stares at you through a window, and it's like,
yeah,
freaked out. He also plays the organ. Very talented.
Man. He is an artist. He
trains horses.
I almost actually took it in a... Okay, yeah, no, he's a talented fella for sure. He's just also kind of crappy.
It was really funny getting to Ganondorf at the very end and realizing the organ music in the background music is actually him just playing.
Oh yeah, he's just waiting for you.
Yeah. Just waiting for you, playing the organ, and it just stops when he turns around. I'm just like, wait, this is diegetic music? I was actually hearing this in game.
Do you say Gerudo or Gerudo?
I have always said Gerudo.
Same.
Because you said, because I heard you say Gerudo a couple minutes ago. When I was little, I called it Gerudo, and it took me a little while for me to tell myself it's Gerudo, because no one ever, no one in the game says that, obviously.
It's all just
There's
text.
no voice acting.
I like that about the game, where it's just all red. I just wish the text boxes moved way faster.
A little faster? Yeah.
It is so slow.
Hold up. There's two speeds in that game. There's so slow, or sometimes they just go lightning fast.
Yeah. This game in general is slow.
Owl.
Owl.
I fucking hate that owl.
Capora. Oh, man.
Does the owl have a name?
Capora.
Yes, but it's also Rauru.
It is also Rauru.
Wait.
Did you know that?
Wait.
That's Rauru just looking at you, just helping you along the whole time.
That's the Sage of Light?
Yep.
Did they say it in the game?
I think
don't
maybe
know,
a Mask of Truth statue might tell you that.
It's there is some sort of confirmation, but it's
I hate that so much. I hate that owl.
Well, you're gonna have to swallow it.
I literally when I'm at the top of Death Mountain and the owl's like, "Hey, would you like a ride down?" I'm like, "Thank you for being useful for once in your fucking life."
Would you like me to repeat that?
Yeah. And of course, yes is the first option. So then, when you're button mashing. But so when he brought you down to Kakariko Village and you landed on the house, did you make sure to go off on the side? So you landed on the roof and then went in and got the heart piece?
Nope. Not at
That's
all.
fair.
There's a lot I want to ask you now that we are on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you collect all the cuckoos in Kakariko Village and get the bottle?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
How many bottles did you get?
Yeah, how many other bottles did you get?
I had 3 total.
Did you buy the milk?
I bought the milk.
You got the cuckoos.
Yep.
You got the bottle from Rudo.
Yep.
So you missed the ghost shop.
Yeah, I did nothing with the ghost shop.
If you catch
the
10
big
pose
pose.
in Hyrule.
Yeah, the big pose.
10 big pose in Hyrule Field.
I could never catch the 10 big pose. They would go too fast.
To be honest, that's kind of it's annoying.
It's the hardest one to get, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed really fucking annoying, so I didn't try.
You know what's even more annoying than that, and I know you didn't get, is the big Goron sword.
I was about to say, you didn't get that, did you?
Yeah, how do you get that sword? I did not get it at all. I bought the giant's knife, and it broke.
Yeah.
And I said, this game is just Dark Souls.
So actually, to
start
Wild. That quest, you have to talk to the cuckoo lady as an adult.
Wait, really? And get the pocket cuckoo?
She gives you the pocket cuckoo. That's the start of the big Goron sword.
Then I woke up the father with it.
Good. Then you got Cujo.
Nope, that was it.
Oh, you're supposed to go back to the lady and show her what you've done. She gives you another chicken.
Oh, she gives you another whole ass chicken?
Another whole ass chicken. You take that to a dude in the forest. He's like, yo, you're really cool. Will you deliver this mushroom to me? You deliver the mushroom. I think it's on a timer because it's going to, if you don't deliver it fast enough,
it's going to go bad.
Goes bad. Once you deliver the mushroom to the potion shop lady in Kakariko Village, she's going to be like, yo, here's the potion. Give it back to the dude. You go back. The dude's not there anymore. There's a little girl. The little girl's like, hey, you stole that shit from the forest. Here's a saw. Take this the fuck out of here. You get the saw. You go to Gerudo Valley. You see a carpenter outside of his tent, and you're like, yo, I found this saw. He goes, hey, that's mine. I have this broken giant's knife. I was going to go get it sharpened. Will you do it for me? You go talk to the big Goron. He's like, hey, that's my knife. I can fix it for you. In fact, I could make something even better, except my eyes hurt right now. So will you give me some eye drops? Then you go take the eye drop prescription to King Zora. King Zora's like, yo, I've got 1 frog left, but it's going to expire if you don't get it there in time. You get 3 minutes to get the eye drop prescription frog.
You can't teleport.
The potion shop guy. Oh yeah, key factor. You can't teleport during this whole thing. Potion shop guy and Lake Hylia gets the frog, turns the frog into the potion. The potion goes to the big Goron. The big Goron's like, here's the receipt for a sword. You got to wait 3 in-game days, which of course you can just Sun-Song your way through. And then he gives you, in completion, a fucking claymore that does double damage. It's so
this game
nice.
is so fucking good.
Honestly, that is bullshit. I hate that.
It's not for
no,
everybody.
that's great. That's
it was the
great.
90s.
It was the 90s. But let's also be fair. That's a for a long time that was very much a Zelda trope. Is like having to deliver different things to different people and then eventually getting either a new item along the way or something at the end. But did you do the Happy Mask Salesman quest?
Nope, not at all. I got the guard to buy the 1 mask, and then I couldn't figure out who wanted to buy the skull mask, and I said, fuck this shit.
The skull mask is desired by the little creepy boy in the graveyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Wait,
no, the skull mask is Skull Kid. You sell it to
shit.
I was thinking,
Skull Kid.
no, because there's a Re-Dead mask, and that is what the kid wants.
Right.
I was mixing up the two. Yeah, and then there's a Gerudo mask, and I think I don't remember who wants the Gerudo mask.
No, it's the bunny hood is the last one that goes to the running man.
Isn't there a Gerudo mask in the game?
Yeah, once you do the 4, then you can get a Zora mask, Gerudo mask, and Goron mask, as well as the Mask of Truth.
Okay.
Which lets you talk to the stones.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you didn't even play the game, Faden.
Hold on. I played it and I finished it. I just played it with a Master Sword only.
How many
That's fair.
fairy fountains did you go to?
I got like a few. I got Din's Fire.
Nice. That's the most important one, I think.
I think the most important one is Faron's Wind.
Did you use that? Did that help you a lot?
Yep, that helped me a lot. What helped me more, though, honestly, was save states.
Fair.
I highly recommend play it with save states.
Din's Fire is the only one that you really need, because that's how you get into the Shadow Temple.
Well, I bet you could fire arrow your way there. It'd just be a pain.
Is that what you did, Faden?
No, I didn't have a fire arrow until I absolutely needed to get one at Gadon's tower.
Oh no, you had the fire by then, yeah.
No, I got the fire at then, actually. I did not have it until literally the final dungeon, and I couldn't get past the part with the...
You didn't see the very obvious camera pan to the pedestal after you beat the water temple?
Nope. I mean, The funny part is, I knew about that pedestal, and to do it, I just kept forgetting to do it.
Oh, I love it. Did you talk to the Scarecrow? Did you get the Scarecrow song?
What Scarecrow song?
That's something I almost never do, too. There's a Scarecrow on Lake Hylia called Bonuru.
Yeah.
And if you whip out your ocarina, he's like, yo, I love singing. And you'll play a song, and he's like, that's a cool tune. You want me to remember it for you?
Mm-hmm.
And he will. And it's like a secret song. And if you play it in certain places inside dungeons, he'll pop up. And that's how you get all 100 Skulltulas, is you got to have Bonuru's song.
There's 100 of those fuckers?
There's 100
Skulltulas did you get?
I got like 20.
You want to know something? So I would say 10. The rewards you get for 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 are good. The one for 100 is fucking bullshit.
What is 100?
It's unlimited rupees, isn't it?
Isn't it like 500 rupees or something?
No, 500 is the Giant's wallet, which is 40.
No. Like you get, like they give you a rupee that's worth 500 rupees.
Oh, I read somewhere online, because I was using a guide this time through. I read that it was unlimited rupees.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just one big-ass rupee, but I guess it could be.
That's also funny, and a prequel to the frickin' shit piece you get from Breath of the Wild.
Wait, what?
The Korok seeds?
Oh. Yeah. that moment's great. 900 Korok seeds. You collect them all, and you get shit.
Did you go fishing?
I went fishing as a kid.
Okay.
I got a big trout, or whatever the fuck.
Did you find the lure?
What lure?
There is an illegal sinking lure that you can find after you catch a record fish, I think.
Well, why would I want to do an illegal sinking lure?
Because that's how you catch the big lunker.
Did you get the gold scale?
What?
Well, you can get the silver scale by diving in Zora's Domain. You get the gold scale by, I think it's by catching like a really big fish as an adult. So I guess, if you only played it as a kid. But no.
What does the gold scale even do?
It just lets you dive. So in the Zora one, the silver scale, you can dive for like a 3 count.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Like a 4 or 5.
Yeah, the gold one lets you go down for 7. But
why would that be necessary though if you have iron boots?
I mean, it just actually I think there's a you know what? I don't remember. I think as a kid, if you dive all the way down in the scientist house in Lake Hylia, if you hit the bottom, they'll be like, "I've been watching you. You can dive really, really far. Here's a gold scale, or not a gold scale, a heart piece." So it's just a way to get a heart piece.
Oh, okay.
But no, actually, Faden, not Faden, Dale.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's mixing up names. So that lure. So I have played this game more than a dozen times since I was a kid, and I never knew until like a couple years ago that in the original version there was that lure, and there was a totally different kind of fish you could catch. It looks like an eel or something. I had no idea that was a thing until just like a couple years ago.
Isn't that
I don't know how I missed it. I had strategy guides and stuff too, and I just never knew that. I don't
Prima
even think
strategy guide.
I don't think you got anything special for catching it, but yeah, like there are the normal looking fish, and then there's the really weird one that you can only catch by using that lure. Um, yeah, totally crazy.
There's just a lot of fun things. This game was one of the first like open-ish worlds that I got to play around in as a kid, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
People will tell you that Hyrule Field is empty. And no, it's not. There's those big, scary helicopter fuckers.
Those helicopter fuckers.
Yeah.
Really
yeah, those
cool.
freaked me out when I was little.
Same.
Did you know that at night if you kill the Stalfos over and over again, or I
A
think
big
the
one comes
Gways
out?
too. Yeah, and like if you keep doing it, they'll keep getting bigger.
Mm-hmm. I did
Did
know
not
that. I actually knew that. I was doing.
Did you know that if you wear the bunny hood at night, Stalfos won't spawn?
No, because I never got the bunny hood.
Oh.
Or if you stay on the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you stay on the walk path,
they just won't show up.
Summon. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. I had a question about the overworld. Is it easier to navigate with Epona?
Did you get Epona?
Nope.
What?
I didn't know how to get Epona. I couldn't figure it out.
That's fair. You have to go back as a kid
like
and
a
talk to
staple
Malin.
of the experience.
And
I want you to boot it up
Epona's
right
song.
now. You need to get Epona. It's the
Yeah.
horse.
I have Epona's song.
Oh, then just play Epona's song when you talk to Ingo. He'll be like, yo, you want to ride a horse for 10 rupees? And then you do that, and then you play Epona's song. And then you go get on Epona and talk to Ingo, and he's like, you ride well, boy. Care to race? And then you got to beat him twice in a row, and then you escape the place with Epona.
What? I tried to do some of that, and that didn't work for me. Interesting. Maybe I just wasn't on Epona to talk to him. I don't know.
That's the key.
And that's weird. That's very specific. But okay.
There's a lot of specific about this game. It's the 90s.
It's weird that...
It's the 90s.
Okay, I would like to say something. I would like to actually call you out, Dale.
Please do.
This is one of your favorite games.
All time.
And, I really see its charm. And I think I figured out why I'm able to play this game now, at this point in my life.
Okay.
And that's because I am fully immersed in the style of games that Dark Souls is.
Okay.
Dark Souls
That's
is
an
just Legend of
interesting
Zelda Ocarina of Time. This game is as of fucking tooth as Dark Souls.
Okay.
I die way less playing this game.
Yeah, that's true, but also you two listing out the deliveries for the bunnies, not the bunnies, but the mass.
I was kind of thinking of Ronnie's quest, to be honest. As I
Yeah.
was talking,
They'll
about
have this amount of immaculate steps.
Mhm.
And I have to deliver a mushroom under 4 minutes to this person. They just took Dark Souls just took Legend of Zelda design and added a better combat system. And it is
I don't know. There's no. Oh god, there is. There's Z targeting in Dark Souls.
yes, it is bananas. I don't get it now. I really don't get it. If you like this game, you should try Dark Souls.
Maybe I love Dark Souls.
Yeah. You just need a guide with you.
Yeah, you want to play Elden Ring after this?
Oh my god.
Lol.
I've gotten to enjoy the weird eccentricities of these types of games. The weird logical requirements to proceed to the next step.
There were some moments where, unless you were waiting around for Navi's, hey!
Yeah.
You were having a hard time figuring out where to go. Who would have thought after you beat Waterfire Forest to go back to Kakariko Village, or alternatively to go to the one very small corner of Hyrule Field that is Gerudo Valley?
Yeah.
I actually was totally I forgot to go back to the Forest Temple to get, I want to say it was, I think it was Saria's song. There was something that I
Oh.
had to go. I had to go not just back to Kokiri Forest, but to the Forest Temple as a kid to get
Mhm.
Saria's song, to go to um the Goron guy.
Oh, right. To get
Right.
to get to
Yeah, I did.
Darina. He's
I
like,
did
"What's that
not.
jam? Who's got that music?"
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, after you complete the fire temple, not the fire temple, but the Dongo's
Goron.
cave.
Yeah.
What is it?
Dodongo's Cavern.
Yeah. Once you complete that, and your bros just want to hug you, Link runs away like a coward.
True.
He was going to pass away.
I don't think he's gonna pass away. I think he just doesn't know his sexuality yet. What a weirdo.
Aren't the Gorons like made of rocks?
Are they made of rocks?
Yes.
They look like they're made of hugs.
I'm sorry.
This pile of rocks just wants to hug you.
This pile of rocks just wants to hug you. Let him. God. I do hate that they have to stand up for you to talk to them.
Ooh.
It is the slowest goddamn thing. It is. Like, stuff like that really gnawed at me.
How about your favorite slow of all time?
My favorite / most hated moment in this game is when you have to wait for the King Zora to scooch his way across his throne.
It's funny. He's old.
It's not funny. It's annoying. He's going, wait, for a goddamn minute.
It is basically 60 seconds of your time.
Just wasted. That's my life gone. Like, I don't like to measure my time like that, because if we do that, that's absolutely bananas that our life has to be maximized. But when I get to that scene, I literally feel my life leaving my body.
You know, I want to touch on something really quick, because earlier you said that you would get to Jabu Jabu's belly and that's where you would quit. And I'm really sorry that was your experience, because in my opinion, that is far and away the worst temple in the game. Like, it's not fun, it's not designed well, like it's not a good part of the game in my
It's also
opinion.
kind of gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
It's like bile and juices and tissue.
Ugh.
That's true.
And also, like, the princess, who, anytime you leave in the room, just like, well, why'd you leave me, Link? Why'd you leave?
Yeah, she's not awesome.
No, she's not great. And then you get engaged to her.
True.
Because she freaking... It was like an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Also true. Nothing better than an ultimatum engagement.
This game has a lot of every single woman is horny for Link in it.
Quite a bit.
I was genuinely shocked. I was like, oh, it's just literally everyone, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Saria, Malin,
Yep.
Navi,
Nubora? What's
Naburu,
Yeah. Malin?
Rudo, Malin. Did we say Malin?
I don't know.
We said Malin.
Probably.
That one lady at the Bomb Chew game.
Oh, yeah, the one lady at the Bomb Chew game. Like, what the fuck?
Like, their audio is always like...
The fairies.
And that's just them talking.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
How could we forget the fairies?
The fairies, oh my goodness.
I, like, this scream when they appear is so disarming. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like a shriek laugh.
Yeah. And it's also going for exaggerated sexiness, so their boobs are very big and pointy. Because it's the Nintendo 64.
In
we
the
don't
90s.
have round. Yeah, we don't have round pixels. I don't know what a circle is. What are you talking about? Do you want to talk about our favorite dungeons?
Let's do it.
Jake, what's your favorite?
Oh, it depends. Because it depends on the mood that I'm in. It's either the Forest Temple or the Shadow Temple. I like the Forest Temple because to me that's like, when I think about Link, I think about how he's like a fairy boy from the forest, and it's just like eerie, and the music is creepy, and it's like ghosts, and I just feel like that's the most like I don't know. I just think it's so cool. I think the design is so cool. I love how you like can turn the rooms and hallways upside down. I like how you have to shoot like the ghosts, like their portraits, and then they become like mini bosses. And I love Phantom Ganon. I just think he's so cool. Like the whole design of that temple is just so fucking cool to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that I mean it's hard, it's confusing for sure, but like I don't know. I love the aesthetic of it. And then the Shadow Temple is like kind of similar. It's just like super creepy. Like everything is like themed after death. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
even on the ferry, which is supposed to be like the river Styx at the end there. It's like implied that people were executed and killed there. Um, I think the music is
Gotta
pretty
love
eerie
a
too.
boss fight with a skeleton on a boat. Classic Zelda shit.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh
happened in
yeah.
multiple games.
Yes. I always think of Skyward Sword when I think of that.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I'm also kind of pairing the Shadow Temple experience with Beneath the Well, which I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you really have to like have done that. You like that's part of it too.
That is part of it for
They're,
sure.
they're a pair. The old well in
Yeah,
Shadow
yeah,
Temple is the most Dark Souls vibes.
yeah. It's like when you go to the Spirit Temple as a kid to go through the left path, so then you can come back as an adult and go through the right. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same temple. It's just you have to be a kid again, which honestly I think is really cool. Like it
I
gives
like
you
that.
it makes you like go back in time.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
do
so
like that
that's
aspect of it where you have to go back and be your younger self in order to clear a puzzle in the future.
yeah. So yep.
It's a good move. I kind of almost wish they did that more.
I think that's honestly the best dungeon because of that design.
Mm-hmm.
It plays with a mechanic
Spirit
that
Temple?
has the Spirit Temple. It's not my favorite dungeon, but I do think it is the best dungeon. I had a lot of fun revisiting it.
I find the Spirit Temple just completely meh.
I like the Iron Knuckle points too.
Yeah, I love the Iron Knuckle points with the big Goron sword because you're like whack, 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 dead.
I will say that when you see the giant idol in like the main room, I think that's awesome. I think that
Mm-hmm.
design is really cool. But I mean, yeah, like overall, I think my least favorite dungeon besides Jabu Jabu is probably the Fire Temple. It's just really tedious to me. I mean,
You don't like
that
saving
being
your
said,
homies?
I like saving my homies. I don't know. It's just annoying. Like half of it is just running into a firewall when you were supposed to go like one square over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At least the water temple has Dark Link.
You didn't like Whack a Volviga?
No. I mean, I think the design for that boss is awesome. I just think the battle is kind of silly, but that's
It's
just
so
my opinion.
dumb.
It's literally whack-a-mole.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you guys though?
My favorite temple is it's the Shadow and the Old Well combo. One of my favorite things is falling through a floor and then reading the sign that says it's more just like don't step here or something along the lines, and then Navi's like that's what the sign says. I don't know why. It just kind of hit me and made me laugh. It's like, yeah, the sign says don't go, like, danger below or danger above.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you read danger above after you get completely owned by a spider. You're like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There
are mummies down there.
There are
That's some
mummies
Dark
down
Souls
there.
energy.
Yeah.
They're called Re-Dead.
No, those ones are Gibdos, actually, now that I think about it, right?
Oh, right. Gibdos.
The mummy ones are
mummies.
Gibdos, and then the Redeads are the zombies with the
I
wooden
didn't
faces.
I didn't like the boss fight, though, the Shadow Temple.
You don't like Bongo Bongo?
No.
Like
Heresy.
big hands.
Take it back.
I'm trying to think of a boss fight I truly liked in this game.
Whoa.
Well,
Queen Goma.
before we get to our favorite boss fights, because I actually do want to talk about that. Dale, what about you?
I gotta bring it in with number 3, Shadow Temple and Old Well. So growing up, I was not the biggest fan of horror films. I was like what I like to refer to myself as a little scaredy cat. And Zelda, this outing with Ocarina of Time and into the Shadow Temple and Old Well was something that was like kind of my first foray into horror-ish, spooky-ish, and I was like, you know what? I can brave this. This isn't bad. It was just such, and now looking at it, the design is so cool.
It's really spooky.
Loved
it is
using
oh my gosh
the Eye of Truth to see where you need to land. Once you get the hover boots, I love the hover boots.
The hover boots
I never
are dope.
take them off once I get
Yeah,
them.
those are dope.
That's a dumb move. You should take them off sometimes.
Okay, that's not true. I did take them off when I had to sneak past Gerudo.
Yeah, like just for like something like that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, right. So when you're in the Shadow Temple, some of the rooms you'll walk into, it'll like stop your screen and it'll say that like the walls are talking to you or something like that.
Yes.
That creeped me out. That was
the walls are whispering. The spirits are whispering.
Right. Yep.
Like Navi would let you know that I can hear the voices of the dead and they're telling us to keep going. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's also
thank you, Navi.
It's a gory mess in the well and in the Shadow Temple.
It's like a torture chamber. Like they have that one part with the wooden beams that are like at an X, which is obviously supposed to be like, you know, what people were like chained to.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, like if you like think into it, like it's morbid.
I think the lore thing stated that the Shadow Dungeon is where they put all their prisoners, or it was.
I think
it
so.
Was,
yeah, because they have like jail cells in at least one of those rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Temple's so cool.
While we're talking about dungeons in general, I do want to ask you two. Do you think that the dungeons are not that great, though, really? Because of the way that the game opens up in the back half, where you get a chance to go to any dungeon of your choosing, they kind of can't... You can't use items in an iterative way. You have to use the items that you are given in the dungeon itself, and that feels sometimes very limiting. I didn't get to use the Megaton Hammer in other
anywhere
dungeons.
else.
Yeah, and like the Megaton Hammer is a lot of fun.
It is. You can use it in place of bombs.
Yeah, but
you can also use it against Ganon when you lose the Master Sword.
Oh,
like you can use it as a weapon, as a different kind of weapon.
Why would you use the Megaton Hammer when you have a Claymore Big Goron sword?
I did not get the Claymore in this playthrough.
I did not either.
Every time I'm like, yeah, Ganon, you could fucking have the Master Sword, dude.
Like, I never needed her.
I mean, if we're talking about like if we're taking away the aesthetic of everything, if we're just talking about like puzzles, I mean, I mean, some of the puzzles are, you know, they could be a little bit better for sure.
The puzzles come alive in Ganon's castle, but
more
that's
intricate.
You know,
right. The puzzles do come alive more in Ganon's castle because you can use everything. I think they also come alive in the Water Temple, where it feels like an actual puzzle to figure out.
I do like the Water Temple. A lot of people don't.
I do like the Water Temple too, but the boss is just boo garbage.
Morpha's not good.
Shitty.
That's just like the bosses.
Dark Link is cool. Dark Link used to creep me out.
Dark Link's alright. Not a main boss though, just a mid boss, which is wild.
Dark Link should have been the main boss.
Yeah. But then you couldn't have a really bad boss fight.
I guess.
Then you'd actually have a really cool one that didn't rely on using the item of the dungeon poorly.
Can I just say that of all of the Zelda games I've ever played, the design of the boss key chest in the 64 games is my favorite.
Ooh,
I don't know why, but like the blue and yellow, it just like it always made me excited to see that chest because I was like, that's so cool looking. I don't know. That's just me. I just like how that is designed. I think it's different in the 3DS versions, unfortunately, but for the 64, it's like chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's just the idea. My favorite is the Wind Waker one with the big green chest. No, not the big green one. Sorry, the spiked one.
Spiked one,
okay.
Yeah. But that's just because Wind Waker is so special to me. I did like the boss chest design. I liked a lot of the... I mean, this is what Zeldas are now, right? Even Breath of the Wild is a lot like this, especially with the freedom of dungeons. I can see where they kind of... They get to that point where they eventually say all dungeons kind of freeform, go to them wherever. Because Ocarina of Time really set them up for that. Do we have a favorite boss fight, everyone here?
Bongo Bongo.
Bongo Bongo? Why do you like Bongo Bongo?
I like Bongo Bongo because I think it's really creepy, this weird guy with detached hands hanging down from the ceiling. And I also like Bongo Bongo because it sets up the ancient mechanic dude fight in Wind Waker. It's the same fight, but without something drumming on the ground.
And Minish Cap too, I think, right?
Is there one?
There's also one that that looks like it.
Look, if I had a nickel for every Nintendo 64 game that had a boss where I had to shoot the eye in the hand, I'd be a really
Super
rich
Mario
man.
64.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get the appeal of Bongo Bongo, but I don't know. Maybe I'm tired of shooting hands, and I think the Wind Waker one is much more epic.
It's pretty astoundingly epic.
Like, the implication is you're fighting a god on that one.
Yeah.
This one is you're fighting a chump skeleton that likes to bongo.
Well, maybe I like chump skeletons that play the bongos. The guy's got spirit.
I mean, he's not a skeleton. He's a big
True.
buff boy with a big red eye for a face.
Yeah, what exactly is Bongo Bongo?
Funny enough, I actually watched a video today that talks about the lore of the Shadow Temple Bongo Bongo and everything. So if you'll notice, there are lots of guillotines in the Shadow Temple, and I think Under the Well. I don't remember. Yeah. But if you look at the walls in Under the Well, and I think also like one of the main entrance rooms of Shadow Temple, you'll see a creature with a face, and it'll have its like two hands coming out of the wall. It'll look like it's in a guillotine. So I think part of a theory is that Bongo Bongo is someone who was executed and is, I guess, undead or something in that dungeon guarding.
Yeah, their hands and head got chopped off, but the head never came back.
That's what it seems to be.
Bongo Bongo really just pissed off the public with their really bad bongo playing, and so they were
another
sentenced
artist
to death.
that isn't appreciated.
Yeah, another artist unappreciated in their time, but in death they find more fame.
Cool.
Yeah, by force.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. I would chip a few bucks to their SoundCloud or whatever.
See, here you were disparaging Bongo Bongo. Now we've changed your mighty mind.
No, it's still a bad boss fight.
Oh, fuck you.
Can I talk about my favorite boss fight? Because it's super basic, but it's, in my opinion, still the best boss fight. So I think that... No, it isn't.
Oh, you said super basic, so I was just guessing.
Well, no, I was going to say Ganon. Like, the fight at the end with Ganon, there is music, but it's like... Actually, I don't even know if there's music. I think it's just, like, silence and then, like, lightning. And a lot of the time, Ganon is actually... Like, a lot of shadow is covering his face and body, so it's almost just like you're fighting this giant silhouette while the lightning is flashing. I think there's music, but it's like really, really subtle. And this, like, everything's on fire, obviously. It's just so epic. I just think that's one of the best boss fights cinematically in any Zelda game. Just because it was like the scale, like it just feels like the stakes are up there. Like Ganondorf is like, he's literally giving the last of his energy to go at you like a villain in a Dragon Ball Z show. I don't know. It's just like, I just love it. It's just a masterpiece.
Jake, have you played Wind Waker?
Yes.
I
haven't played it in a while.
I just think about the final boss in that, where it's just Ganondorf with two swords, while
I will
the
say,
water's pouring in.
One thing that I remember from that fight is the killing blow, and that's pretty hardcore. That'll get the job done for sure.
That's like the antithesis. That moment is the antithesis of the entire game.
Yeah, and also that moment's very, like, it is mirroring the end of the Ganondorf fight, where you seal the sword in Ganon's head.
Yeah. You know, you'd think that he would start wearing a helmet, because, like, he is all about getting stabbed in the face.
Yeah, truly.
It's poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah, George Lucas is actually a secret producer of the Zelda series.
That's why it's all cyclical.
Yeah, it's like stanzas and verses.
Stands and verses, couplets. Getting a limerick in here. I also think the Ganon fight is good. The best one. Mostly because I lost my Master Sword, and I had to figure out what to fucking do, and so I threw 100 bombs at him.
That was, being Zelda, that was probably funny to watch. But I will say, when you're fucking up Baronade, that's pretty satisfying, because you're finally getting out of the dungeon, you're finally getting to put it to sleep. If there's one thing that I liked about Jabu Jabu's belly, it was beating Baronade so I could be done with that dungeon.
When you said Baronade, literally my mind went completely blank. I'm like, who the fuck is this? What?
It's because it's so forgettable, and I memorized that name because I had to fight him more than once because I couldn't beat it my first time.
I hate that entire boss and dungeon.
Yeah, you gotta just run around.
You gotta use the boomerang.
And use the boomerang, right?
And then you never use the boomerang again. Really?
You gotta use it in the Spirit Temple.
You barely use the boomerang, which is wild. I don't know why. It just makes me feel weird. Boomerang is an iconic Link thing.
Yeah.
And you don't use it at all in Ocarina. Not really. Is there any last things we want to hit? Dale, do you have any last thoughts?
When I was playing this game, I streamed it to a friend, Claire. Shout out again. I think she listens.
Shout out.
And Claire pointed out some of the aged flaws, and I have to come back to my frustration with not having a dual axis camera. That's true. This game's old. This game can buy a beer in a bar. Legally.
Legally, as opposed to illegally buying, like Breath of the Wild is doing right now.
Right, Breath of the Wild's out there with a fake ID.
23 or 24, yeah.
This game might even be able to rent a car, wow.
Wow. The true sign of adulthood.
And there are definite moments where that shows, be it the content of the game and its kind of unimaginative.
Would this game be better if it was 2D?
I don't think so. I like 3D Zeldas better. I'm in the camp that I like 3D Zeldas better.
I just don't think it would be comparable. To me, this was like a tech demo.
This was a potential for the future. I
just think that it's as good as an original Zelda game could be. It's just also being the first Zelda game on a 3D console, they had to do a lot of experimentation, so I just think it would be fundamentally different if it was 2D. I could not see it like that.
I think we should have had more 2D Nintendo 64 games, just in general.
Robotron 64 was pretty good.
The Tigger movie.
The what?
The Tigger movie.
What? Was that a 2D N64
yes.
game?
Yes, it was.
Was it good?
I don't know, but something made me think of the Tigger movie game. So, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to play that for Game Club someday.
Sure.
I suppose we could.
Maybe we could play a bunch of shitty 64 games as a Games Club special.
Let's do 1 year, a dedication to shitty license games.
Yes.
Oh, God. The Shrek fighting game on Game Boy.
Jake, do you have any last thoughts for Ocarina of Time?
So, I feel okay, so at the beginning of this, I was talking about how it depends on, my mood, basically, of whether I think that this or Majora's Mask is my favorite game. And that's because I kind of feel like they are different experiences. I feel like Majora's Mask is a much more personal kind of game. Everything that you do, almost every single story beat, you're supposed to feel something for certain characters involved, wherever you go. In Snowhead, you have to, you're bringing back this, not bringing back, but you're taking the soul of this Goron hero who regrets not being able to be praised anymore, basically. And like in the Great Bay, there's the Macau who's dead, and he was a rock star, and he also, I think, is supposed to be like the parent of the babies that you save. So I feel like that's why that's so impactful, because it's very personal. But with Ocarina of Time, I kind of feel like it's more like Lord of the Rings, in that it's supposed to be this epic tale, like an adventure. You know what I mean? Where you go out and you go to all these different places in the world, and maybe you're not supposed to feel like personal attachments to the different points, but I feel like you do kind of feel like you're saving the world. Like, I don't know about like Frodo or Aragorn or something. I feel like Frodo is a better, or Sam. You know what I mean? So like, it's just a bigger experience. I really do feel like every gamer should try it at least, just to like see if it's up their alley. But I just feel like it's
a classic call to action story, a call to adventure where the hero has to rise to meet their destiny. It is epic in the traditional sense of like the Odyssey is an epic, or the Iliad is an epic.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good way to say it, for sure.
It's one of the first video game epics.
Well, I really appreciated that vibe too, personally. It was really weird because, like, so adamantly, I really would just say I fundamentally do not like this game. I think it was bad when I first played it as a kid, when it first came out, and it was bad as an adult. But now, finally beating it, I think it is perfectly a good time. It is not. I don't think this game is as boring as I thought it was originally, especially once it opens up in the second half after you get the Master Sword. I think some of that stuff is good.
I feel like that's where the game really begins.
Yeah, the first bit feels like a prologue, really, to the last bit. I do think this game does... It just kind of suffers from being called the Zelda game in a weird way, where now I can find a Majora's Mask, which takes a lot of the same engine, and so of course they're better at making it, and I can enjoy that more in this same 3D space. Or I could play Link to the Past, a game that came out before, and that I find is a more enjoyable experience because I like the exploration in it. But I also can't be like, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is overrated, because it's really not. It is, I think, exactly rated in its like influence, but I don't know. There's more fun times you can have. I have one fundamental problem too that nobody ever really told me about, and I still have hard issues finding any information about this and people talking about it. This game's really fucking gay. The Sheik and Link relationship is some of the most homoerotic shit I've seen of this era. You don't hang out with Zelda at all in this game. You hang out with her disguised as a man named Sheik. And I find that truly fascinating.
Well, I think that there's a plot point to that, but I get what you're saying for sure.
Well, there is a plot point, but it also does the tradition of a woman disguised as a man, and that the male still kind of has feelings towards in the same capacity that he does for his woman. And so it just really makes the undertone of the harp music during Sheik's theme that are played for Sheik's theme.
Very romantic, yeah.
Makes it egregiously, like, romantic. And Sheik just straight up has a harp.
And a dump truck ass.
And the dump truck ass, yeah.
And the dump truck ass. Like, Sheik's all caked up. What the fuck? And Sheik's referred to as a man. If I didn't know Zelda was Sheik, like, what are you made to think? Like, when you two played it, did you know about the twist?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, hard to say.
Okay, that's fair. That was a long time ago. I'm just so curious. Like, I need someone who has no information, who hasn't played Smash Bros, and who hasn't played
Link
Ocarina of Time.
Referred to as a fairy boy a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's
yeah.
I honestly think Well, I mean, I obviously you could make the connection, but I think in that world that Fairy Boy is like literally that. But
well, yeah, it's.
I mean, if we're talking about like
A pro-
homoerotic comparisons,
and also use Fairy
Boy.
Boy as a pejorative for a gay man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
people don't say it nicely. I'll tell you that, Jake.
Yeah.
Nobody's like. He's a little fairy boy.
Also, the you know, the Gerudos are all thieves.
Oh, we're so proud of him. He's just our little fairy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're meaning it in that way. I hope not, because then it becomes homophobic. Oh God. I just think Link and Sheik are both really two cute twink boys, and it's just interesting that Zelda teaches you one song, but Sheik teaches you 6. So that's our Legend of Zelda talk.
We didn't really talk about like the music that much. We did for a second, but like, did you guys have any like favorite songs or anything like that?
Ooh, like favorite Ocarina song?
Nocturne of Shadow, far and away. I love everything to do with the Shadow Temple. Mm-hmm. I also think that playing a game that early on that was so musically oriented kind of helped drive me to learn more instruments.
Ooh, really?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
That's really cool. I like the Prelude to Light.
For example, I have an ocarina.
I do too.
Yeah, would you if you had not played that game? Probably not.
I don't know. Faden, would you have gotten it for me if I hadn't played that game?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten it for you if you hadn't played that game, that's for sure. That'd be a weird gift. Here's the Ocarina of Time. Sorry.
Hey, here's a bust of Parappa the Rappa.
Here's my Parappa the Rappa sheet music. I hope you enjoy.
Okay. Yeah.
Should we get into some questions?
I think so. There were some good ones this week, this month.
Our first set of questions come from JCOM. How has Ocarina of Time lived up to its iconic status? Has it aged well?
Absolutely. JCOM, I'm glad you asked. The greatest creation of mankind, the finest code ever strung together, still holds up to that title. 100%.
I'm gonna say that I feel the exact same way.
Age is fine. Age is like milk. No, I'm just kidding. Age is fine.
Hey, you can age milk into cheese.
Shit. Well, this is the smelliest cheese I ever played. All right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What do you think was the most important mechanic the game introduced?
Z-targeting.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. Z-targeting has been a carryover into so many things. Like you pointed out to me, it's in Dark Souls. Holy shit.
Yeah, I also would agree with Z-targeting. I think it's so important because these 3D games really do not have good camera controls.
Yeah, I mean, if I just want to be a little bit different, I think that maybe aiming and then, or not aiming and the hitting, playing a song and then that affecting like your environment in real time. I think that was kind of, I don't know if it was revolutionary, but it definitely, like in terms of the 3D environment, changing things in real time, I think that was a big deal.
Moving around the stones of time.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. If someone has never played the game, is it worth a play, and which version? Because I think we all kind of agree it's worth a shot. If this is something that interests you, highly recommend playing. But which version should everyone play?
That's
yeah,
kind of a toss-up, because as I was playing it, I was like, damn, this game does not look pretty anymore. And like the 3DS version is there. I feel like it. Oh, and I'll also say that while I was playing the game, I like to do the target practice games where you can get like a bigger quiver and things like that. And playing on the Wii, I don't know if the 64 controller just handled smoother, but like it was so clunky. Playing the 64 version, it was like you'd move the stick over a little bit and it would either go too far or not enough, and then you would like miss. It just I think that's playing the 3DS version is like it's not even the same experience. It's just so much smoother. It's not even funny.
Yeah, maybe play the 3DS version if you want a smoother time, because aiming sucks.
Yeah, that's just true.
But I highly recommend, since you own the game, obviously, or else you wouldn't pull your ROM out of the game. I would recommend emulating it, just because save states are great. That's how I beat the final boss. Anytime I would die, instead of, going through all the cutscenes again and climbing Ganondorf's tower and all that bullshit, I would just hit F7, reload my save state, ready to keep going.
Okay.
That is a nice feature, and I thought it looked just fine on the ROM I pulled from the game I own.
Yeah, I think it looked fine. I mean, it does look weird when it's in widescreen, just fundamentally.
Right. Because the game is a square.
I should have tried to get like a CRT filter. Not CRT. Wait.
Yeah, CRT, cathode ray tube.
Sorry, because of critical race theory.
I was like, wait,
also.
What?
I need the critical race theory version of Ocarina of Time. Final question from JCOM. Which song is most stuck in your head?
Oh, Zelda's Lullaby, easy. That one's just the simplest, and it's my favorite. It's just like relaxing, and yeah, I love that one.
If I had to choose, I'd probably say the Lon Lon Ranch song, because that pops up in my head. I just took this as song, so I don't know. Maybe they get Ocarina.
I really like Song of Storms. That one comes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
The music from the Forest Temple that Jake mentioned earlier, really good stuff. It's like this lilting sound that almost sounds like someone's singing, but it's so electronic still because it's a video game. But underneath it are these like metallic sounding percussive hits. It's hard to just say if it's an instrument or if it's someone banging rods and reeds together. It's
adds
really
to the
good.
eeriness too.
Yeah.
This last question for today comes from the Traveler.
Hi, the Traveler.
What do we think the next step is for the Zelda series? They also followed it up saying they didn't know if any new game was announced, and on our Discord, which you all should join if you're listening to and you're not in, we were able to, link the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, and so able to help them out there. But I think we should talk about this. Where do you think that trailer indicates Zelda is going?
I think it's going to continue on a more puzzle puzzles through the world kind of instance. We have seen Link shooting skyward to like these sky islands. That seems kind of similar to the temple format. I'm sure there's things to be done there. My biggest question, what I want to know, did Ganondorf take Link's arm? It looks like he did.
I think it's fascinating that Skyward Sword got a HD release last year, and then the trailer for the next Zelda game is floating islands and flying through the sky. And so I'm really hoping we're getting a Skyward Sword resurgence.
Ooh, I would love that.
I heard somewhere that the reason that they were gonna make Breath of the Wild 2 is because that their DLC ideas were just too plentiful, so they wanted to make a whole new sequel. So whatever it is, I think it's gonna be more interesting than like I feel like there's gonna be a lot more little details spread throughout it.
Just like a continuation of Breath of the Wild's already like minute detail focus.
Yeah.
Especially they'll have a lot of like, imagine what they'll do with open spaces in the air and the things you'll find there. Like maybe parting behind the clouds or something.
Oh, man.
I can't wait.
I'm going to play the game for 12 hours straight when it comes out. That's what I did for Breath of the Wild 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. I have one more thing for us to do. Okay. So Suzor linked us to some quizzes.
Oh, I forgot to do this.
Now, I'm glad you didn't do it because this is my idea. I think it would be fun if basically one of us does the quiz and see how well they do. And we do the hard quiz that Suzor linked.
Can I do it?
Yeah, you do it.
I do it?
No, guest star Jake.
Guest star Jake. Okay, good. I'll read off the questions to you.
Okay.
That doesn't sound right. Does this make sense? Okay, the first question is, how many equipment capacities upgrades is it possible to unlock in the Lost Woods?
In the Lost Woods?
Yeah. How many equipment capacity upgrades? Okay, I feel like increasing the bombs or bomb chew limit.
But just the Lost Woods?
Just the Lost Woods. This is the hard question. This is for Zelda experts. Ocarina of Time experts.
Man, I think I'm going to say 2. I'm guessing...
Oh, I didn't give you the multiple choice.
Oh, it's a multiple choice. Okay.
Yeah, it's between 5, 2, 3, or 4.
I'm going to guess 2 because there's only one place where I think you can upgrade capacity, and that's because there's a Deku scrub with a target. I know that you can get your slingshot upgraded there, and I guess it's possible that you can do the same with the quiver. That's my guess.
All right. Second question. If Child Link manages to pass the gates of Gerudo Valley and infiltrate the fortress, he can still get caught by the guards. True or false?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me if I was right for the first question.
No, I'd have to submit the quiz. Sorry.
That's different because that's like a coding thing.
Yep,
this
is for real fans.
Oh, fuck you. Because if he gets caught, he's gonna get locked in the thing, and he's not gonna be able to get out because he won't have the hook shot. I'm gonna say,
but what if he has the Gerudo mask on?
I'm gonna say no.
So false?
I'm gonna say false. I don't know. I'm leaning towards false. I don't think the code expects that, so I don't think it would allow for things to play out that way.
Right. So it wouldn't. You're not able to get caught by the guards if you manage to get past.
Just my guess. Yeah.
Okay. Number 3. The infamous L is Real 2401 plaque appears not only in Super Mario 64's courtyard, but in a dungeon in Ocarina of Time.
Dodongo's Cavern.
All right. I'll click that.
I'm sorry, do you want to give me the options?
Nope, that's fine. You seem confident.
Out of curiosity, what are the options? I really want to know.
Okay, the options are Dodongo's Cavern, Shadow Temple, Fire Temple, Spirit Temple, Adult.
What was the last one? Oh, Spirit Temple Adult. Yeah, no, it is the Dongo's Cavern.
All right, question 4. Which mask can Link sell for the most rupees? Skull Mask, Ketion Mask, Bunny Hood, Spooky Mask.
I'm going to say the Bunny Hood.
Okay. Number 5.
That one's right. I can tell you that one's right.
Well, because that's the last one.
Right. And that just fills your wallet, whichever you have.
Link can learn about what from the diary inside Dampé's hut? His favorite pose. Sharp and flat graves and Sun's song. The hook shot. The secret entrance to the windmill.
I think it's the hook shot.
Okay. Link can reach the Sacred Forest Meadow from the onset of the game. True or false?
Damn. Now I want to go try it.
You want to tag in?
Sure.
It's true.
You'd get your ass handed to you because you don't have any weapons, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, we're going with 2.
Okay. Yeah. Number 7. When Link meets the owl, Kapora, Gaybora. Oh my god, no, it's fucking not. Kapora Gabora.
Yep.
Near the summit of Death Mountain. He'll offer Link a ride down to the base. If Link accepts, he'll find himself on a ledge near the back door of the house. If Link enters, where will he find himself? Inside a cage with a cow and a heart container. Back of the general store. Back of the potion shop. Top level of the windmill.
Wait, because there's no fucking... It's the cow. It's the one with the cow.
The cow and the
It is, but I forgot.
We talked about this earlier in the podcast.
We did, but I don't. But that's the upper. That's the upper level. There's a cow in the upper part of the thing. Whatever. I just know that there's a heart piece there. We did talk about that. That's funny.
Question 8. There is a certain grotto that can be accessed with the Song of Storms that contains a golden Skulltula. A glitch was long ago discovered where Link can obtain infinite gold Skulltula tokens by repeatedly re-entering the grotto. Where is the grotto located? Hyrule Field, Zora's Domain, Kokori Forest, or outside Hyrule Castle?
I think I don't know what it is, so I'm going to say outside Hyrule Castle.
I don't know either. Wow. Yeah, I never knew that.
I've never even heard of that.
This is for true fans, so you know.
Fuck yourself.
Not us.
9. How many pots and crates are the Hyrule Castle Town Guard's house?
Oh my god.
In total.
Okay, so what are the options? It better not be like 37, 38, 39, and 40.
Well, guess what, Jake? It's 49, 64, 50, 32.
That's still a pretty close spread.
Only true fans know this very obviously knowable question.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like playing it in my head right now. Like, walk in. Okay, so there's like 6 on the left, I think. Then what are the options one more time?
49, 64, 50, 32.
It'd be funny if there was 64. Because it was on the Nintendo 64.
Are you going to go
with
with
that? But now I'm
that?
thinking that no, I'm not. You said 52?
32 or 50?
All right, Jimmy, what should we do?
I think it's 32. There's not that many.
Well, there's like the 3 layers. I think it's 3 when you first enter, and then there are some on like under the window part when you go up the 41. Steps. And then there's one on each of the railings, and then there's some at 60. The end, and then there's some on the left.
There's not. We can eliminate the high and low. Pick between the middles.
So 49 or 50? The fact that it's 49 or 50 is fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up shit. 49.
Let's just go with 50. It's even. Let's just go with 50.
Are we 50 final answer?
Yes.
All right, last question. Number 10.
No, wait. Can we go back?
Sure.
49.
Okay. Last question. Number 10. Who guards the exit to the Kokori Forest in the beginning of the game?
Mito!
Yeah,
Mito.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he's a douche. Wait, no. No, it's not. Because he guards to the fucking Deku tree, right?
Do you want the
I guess
options? Saria, Mido, Great Deku Tree, Know-It-All Brothers.
Well, it's not the know-it-all. It could be one of them.
It's Mido.
Let's go with it's Mido. Yeah, we'll go with Mido.
All right, submit my answers. Are you ready to see if you're a true fan, Jake?
Yes.
Okay.
10 out of 10, all of them right. Great job.
So,
I hope so.
are you? The first question, you got it wrong. It was 3 possible unlocks. You can get the upgrade to the bullet bag by hitting the slab of wood hanging from the tree in the center 3 times consecutively. The Deku upgrade appears by showing yourself in front of the forest stage wearing the Mask of Truth. Finally, a Deku stick upgrade is earned in the same way with the Skull Mask.
Oh.
I didn't know you could upgrade those things.
Nor did I.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
We're not fans.
We
I'm
are
learning.
not fans. I don't think we've ever played the game.
You can get caught if you infiltrate past the gate in Gerudo Valley as a kid. It's possible through hacks of a careful launch from a cuckoo near the entrance to enter the fortress as a child. However, a Gerudo's mask does not fool the guard.
Oh.
And a guard who spots Link will throw him into the river one scene.
What? Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just pitches him right off the cliff.
Yep. You are correct about Ella's Real 2401 is in Dodongo's Cavern. The bunny hood you can sell for the most rupees. You learn about the hookshot from the diary. You can reach the Sacred Forest Meadow from the onset of the game, so you are correct. Kepa Gabora drops you near the back entrance to go inside a cage with a cow and a heart container. You are correct. It is outside of Hyrule Castle where you can do the infinite gold Skolatas.
No kidding.
It is 49 pots and crates in the house total.
Yeah!
See, we got the important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mido guards the exit. So you got 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'll take it. It's a B.
The average score of this quiz is 6 out of 10, so I would say that you're a true Zelda fan.
Yes, I would say that I have to share that with Jimmy a little bit too.
Yeah, you both are true Zelda fans. For Ocarina of Time only, though.
We did
Ocarina of Time only, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one you have. You only have certification for this one.
I love this. I really love this, actually. I wish there were more of these.
Well, Suzor posted 3 quizzes. So there are more quizzes. And I'll also post the quizzes in the Discord. So anyone at home, they can listen. Obviously, don't do that one. I already spoiled it. Which, I guess that brings us to the end of today's episode.
I think it might.
Jake, do you, real quick, have anything you want to promote that people should be on the lookout for that you're doing?
Yeah, so August 1st, a game called, I think I've mentioned this before, but a game called Royal Duality, a visual novel game, is going to be coming out on Steam. It should be totally free. I voice a small character in that, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So I hope people play it and enjoy it. Royal Duality.
That's awesome. Can't wait to hear your voice in that.
Thank you.
Dale, do you have anything you want to promote?
No, I don't think I do. I just want to promote all of the good people here listening and make sure that they get the promotion that they need. It's good to lift up others.
Basically, I think what Dale is saying here is if you, listener, have something you want to promote for yourself, just hit Dale up and he will promote it for you in this section.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Let us know what
nice.
you want to promote, and we'll talk about it.
Maybe. If it's not cool, we won't.
Yeah, no racists allowed.
No, I just mean, like, level of cool. You gotta be cool.
Oh.
You gotta wear sunglasses indoors.
Yeah, fucking, I'm wearing sunglasses right now in my little blanket fort.
Nice.
It really makes reading my, like, screens hard. It has been a complete hindrance to me.
Yeah, but you're cool.
But I'm cool.
That's what counts.
For myself, I will have an article that's in the episode notes about As You Like It, the Shakespeare play, and Ocarina of Time, to continue my argument that this game is super fucking gay. You all should read it.
I read the first paragraph and it was pretty good. I need to finish it.
Well, that's the best part, so I think you're fine. Just read the first paragraph.
It was nice.
Now, Dale, what are we doing next month?
Next month, we're playing another critically acclaimed greatest creation of mankind, one of the greatest pieces of code strung together. Metal Gear Solid. The Metal Gear Solid.
The Metal Gear Solid. The third game in the Metal Gear series.
The Metal Gear Solid, yes. Not Metal Gear Ray, not Metal Gear Rex, Metal Gear Solid.
Sure, yeah. We're playing Metal Gear Solid. My favorite game from when I was a kid, to contrast with Dale's favorite game, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah. We still don't know how to end this, huh?
Haven't figured it out yet. I think we can say goodbye, though. That's nice.
Let's say goodbye. Jake, thank you for being on, as always. We can't wait to have you again.
Pleasure. Yeah, it was fun to be here talking about one of my favorite games ever. Thank you for having me on here.
Until next time, everyone.
Goodbye.